Hello friends, in today's video we will be talking on how to find the sex of a child through astrology. There are different and various things to discuss in this, and there are a lot of things that's being said on how to find the sex of child through astrology. We are going to cover some of the core points today. Rashi chart. For the matters concerning children, the placement of the fifth lord and the planets should be seen from the Jupiter. Jupiter is the Nesargic Putra Karaka. If there are planets incident from Jupiter, they can indicate the number and the nature of the children. The placement of the fifth lord from Jupiter will indicate the extent of gains from children. It's normally seen, friends, that for determination of the sex of the child, chart of the father is a better indicator. In any of the scenarios, if you have to find the sex of a child, as in my experience, many astrologers see the father's birth chart. Let's talk about Saptamsha. The timing of birth of children, their nature, ability, and fortune is seen in the Saptamsha chart. Saptamsha chart, just like other chart, like you might know about Navmasha, Dwadasha chart, just like Saptamsha chart is all about the children. How many children will I have? Or in other words, the count of children. This, friends, like the first child is usually seen from the fifth house, is counted zodiacally or anti-zodiacally depending on whether the lagna is odd or even. The subsequent pregnancies are seen from every third house. That is, if an odd sign accents the Saptamaj, the individual pregnancies are seen in the 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th, etc. If an even sign accents in the Saptamansha, the individual pregnancies are seen in the 9th, 7th, 5th, 3rd, and so on. After the Manduka Gati reached the point of the star, the sequence of jump would repeat again, which can't be allowed. To counter this problem, the next sign arrived at is by crawling this sign. Illustration: after the jump sequence reaches from 5th to 3rd, the next sign after 3rd would be the 5th again. Here the jump doesn't progress to the 5th, but the 4th, that is where the frog is supposed to be crawling instead of jumping, as there is no space for jumping. Thus, the order of pregnancy now, friends, it becomes 5th, 7, 9, 11, 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 2. For even sign, the sequence becomes 9, 7, 5, 3, 1, 11, 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, and 12. The nodes generally indicate the last child. Example, if Rahu is in the 7th or joins the 7th lord, the native may have 2 children. Kramat in the present context means Manduka Gati or the frog jump. That is, if the first pregnancy is from the 9th house, the subsequent children will be from the lord of the 7th, 5th, 3rd, 1st, etc. The frog jump is to the 3rd sign. Instead, if the first pregnancy is from the 5th house, the subsequent children will be judged, as you can easily find out, from the lord of 7th, 9th, 11, etc. Sex of the child. How do you find out the sex of a child? The sex of the child is seen from the lord of the sign ruling the house of pregnancy. If the lord is exalted, example Saturn in Libra, Venus in Pisces. So if the lord is exalted or conjoined male planets, which are the male planets? Sun, Rahu, Jupiter, Mars. The issue or the child born will be male. If the lord is debilitated or conjoins female planets, what do I mean when I say lord is debilitated? Example Saturn in Aries, Venus in Virgo. So if the lord is debilitated or conjoins female planets, that is Moon, Ketu, Venus, the issue or the kid born is going to be female or a girl child. Saturn and Mercury are said to be enanche planets, but they are found to indicate female as well as male children. If the lord of the sign is neither exalted nor debilitated nor conjoins any other planets, the sex of the child is seen from the nature of the sign occupied by it. All the odd signs except Aquarius and Gemini are male birth signs. All the odd signs, that is except Aquarius and Gemini, are male birth signs, while all the even signs except Cancer and Pisces are the female birth signs. Sorry, I take it back. All the even signs including Cancer and Pisces are the female birth signs. Let's talk about effect of Parivartana. If there is an exchange of houses or what we call it as a Parivartana Yoga, between the Saptamsha Lagna and the lord of any other house, the counting will be based on whether the other sign is odd or even, and not the oddity of the Saptamsha Lagna. However, I should warn that the counting will still start from the Saptamsha Lagna. On the sex of a child, if the lord of the child associates with the planet, let's say Venus, and there is a parivartana of this planet with another planet, let's say Sun, the influence of the other planet, namely Sun, will be more dominant over the lord of the child in determining the sex. However, if there is a parivartan of the lord of the child with another planet, then the sex of the child will be determined by the lord of the child is simply reversed. Example, if the lord of the child is Venus and is placed in Leo with Moon, and the lord of Leo, Sun, is placed in house of Venus, Taurus, then the sex of the child indicated by Venus in conjunction with Moon, that is female, shall be changed to male. Clear? Now we'll go on another aspect that we should see and we should consider, that is riders. If the lord of the child is placed in the house of another child, then one of the children indicated by them shall survive. For illustration, the fifth lord is placed in the seventh house. One of the children signified by the fifth and seventh lords will survive. This is as per Pandit Sanjay Rath. However, Pandit Sanjay has presented one more viewpoint while showing the use of Trekana for co-bonds, whereby when the counting reaches a sign which houses another lord of the child, the count cross over to another sign. To illustrate, he says, however, Capricorn houses two sisters as indicated by Mercury and Jupiter, and should normally have limited the number of elder co-borns. Since the number is actually higher, the next sign, Aquarius, will indicate the co-born. If the Lord of the child are placed together, then one of the children shall survive. Example, the Lords of 5th and 9th are placed in the same sign, then one among the children shown by them shall survive. However, it is difficult to determine who among them shall survive and can only be determined from practical events. In the present case, if there is a miscarriage of the first child, the third child shown by the 9th Lord shall survive, and vice versa. If one planet happens to indicate more than one child, then the first child will be shown by the Lord of the child. However, the second one will be shown by the house of the child and the planets which are placed therein. If Venus becomes the Lord of Saptamsha Lagna, the issues indicated by the planets in the 8th from Venus cannot survive unless they conjoin Ketu, which is referred to as Ganapati, as these issues will have Venus in the Maranasthana. The same principle can be extended to other planets. Thus, in case of different Saptamsha Lagna, the placement of the Lord of the child in the following places cannot survive, unless supported by the following planets. Which planets? Sun in the 2nd, Moon in the 6th, Mars in 7th, Mercury in 7th, Jupiter in 11th, Venus in 8th, Saturn in 1st, Rahu in 5th. Thus, the principle states, if the Saptamsha Lagna Lord is placed in a Maran Karakasthana from the Lord of the child, then either the parent or the child survive, unless there is a blessing of God. So friends, this is our analysis on how to find the sex of a child. If you like the video, please do not forget to like, comment or share. If you do have any comments on the video, please add your comments in the comment section. That's all for now. We'll see you later in the next part of the video. See you then.